Okay, I was checking out a video last night on TikTok. There's I can't remember. I think her name is Tabitha Speaks. Well, she was like, she was aggravated and she told all the Asians to come to the front of the row. Like basically, how dare you come out speaking ratchet, greasy and cheesy about us and how we're responding to your blatant disrespect for decades in our community. But anywho, I was thinking about this morning, this video I'm doing now, the way these people are thinking in response to our actions. Like, far be it they actually have some understanding, which we really don't care at this point. Regardless of what we say and how we feel and how we have been treated in these businesses and children unalived by them for the simplest things, right? They don't give a F. It's like, how dare you, Black America? And I'll talk more about it when I get back. Hello, folks. Hello. Let's get on with this. Okay. In this video, I'm going to discuss how these people feel about what we're doing, our stance, our like demand for respect. And it's not like, we're going to them saying, I demand that you respect us. It's like, it's beyond that. It's like our actions are showing you. Like, and I'm sure they're stunned. Because in their minds, because they believe the BS the colonizers preach, we're not supposed to have a backbone or any kind of dignity. We're supposed to just take what they give us like we still on the plantations. And even that wasn't true, because a lot of our people fought to the point of forcing themselves to be emancipated. They don't want to talk about that, right? But it's like the way they're acting, the heinous things I'm hearing these Asians say on social media, they remind me of this video I did called The Deadly Difference. And it's really a thing. Racists felt and required us to put their needs and desires and safety above ours. And that's the attitude you're seeing from these Asians and then these white people getting on social media, putting their 2 cents in it, like we really care about what you think. I mean, I don't care about what these other people, these people who are being affected by our blackout think. So why you think I care about what you think? Then you got the Hispanics coming in, putting their 2 cents. Like, this is really, it's really a trip. Like, these people are so emboldened to believe that they have a right to tell us what to do with our money. But then remember, people, I want to remind you, my people, what did they used to say? We're lazy. We're what? We're all on welfare. We don't want to do nothing but get handouts, right? That's all the things. Asians, Hispanics, you name it. We know the racists said. But why are you crying and begging for our money now? Does that even make sense? Damn, you guys liberated us. You liberated us from choking our community and giving you guys all the water and fertilization you needed. Let's get on with this. Before I get into the content, I got 2 things right now. I want to read a comment somebody left on one of my videos, and then I want you to hear what someone researched about the attitudes that are being displayed from these Asians who are supposedly so angry because we decided to take our dollars back, that's ludicrous in itself, man. Who gets angry? Somebody whose mind ain't right. Listen to this, folks.
That video is prolific. So while I was listening to the video, I was doing some work and I started to search some psychological information regarding the way these people are responding to, reacting to how we're responding to their mistreatment of us. And I came across a psychological phrase, because I'm not a psychiatrist, but we can research some psychological, we can research information under the umbrella of psychology to understand everyday human behavior. And also we can freely research sociology to get down to the point of what's going on with these people. There's a phrase in psychology that is termed separation elongation, and there's another one that is called evaluation of risk. Separation distress and separation backlash is a situation where an abuser experiences an extreme threat to their sense of control. This triggers an aggressive backlash designed to force compliance and stop the partner from leaving. This is within a psychological context regarding relationships. There's also the power and control framework. In clinical psychology, abuse is understood not as a loss of temper, but as a deliberate structure of dominance. Leaving is the ultimate defiance of that dominance, which triggers severe anger to reestablish ownership. There's another I came across is specific behavioral tactics, extinction bursts. This is an operant conditioning term. When a behavior that used to work, i.e., controlling you through minor mistreatment, when it stops working because you are leaving, the abuser's behavior will briefly and suddenly spike in intensity, anger, or desperation to get the old result back. There's also Darvo, deny, attack, and deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. If confronted with your departure, excuse me, my computer, I don't know why it fell asleep while I was talking. That is annoying. Darvo, deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. If confronted with your departure, the abuser may get angry and accuse you of being the abusive, cruel, or abandoning one, effectively flipping the narrative. There's also hovering, named after the vacuum cleaner. This is a behavioral term. This is a behavioral pattern where the abuser alternates between intense anger and sudden affection. False promises are guilt trips to suck the victim back into the relationship. And this is the last one I'm going to share for now. It's psychological profiling, narcissistic injury, and rage. If the abuser has strong narcissistic traits, a partner leaving is seen as the ultimate rejection and a blow to their fragile self-esteem. This triggers narcissistic rage. Narcissistic rage is an intense, disproportionate anger aimed at punishing the person who caused the injury. Anxious, insecure attachment, aggressive expression. Some abusers have a highly dysfunctional attachment style where the terrifying fear of abandonment manifests not as sadness, but as violent or volatile anger to prevent the separation. Baby, we are done having our energy siphoned by these narcissistic monsters. We are done with allowing these people to use our wealth and literally exploit us in a very demonic and derogatory fashion where you're just constantly the welcome at that you're claiming you're going to lay down flat and they're telling you you're not laying flat enough. It's like there's nothing we can do to make these people appreciate our support over the years. There's nothing we can say or do to change the way they feel because that is how they feel. And the anger that they are displaying is actually proof.
Girl, I'm sorry. What you looked up that's it. That's all of them. It's not just the Asians. They all act the same way. And when I think about it, it's so annoying. It's like, that feeling you have when you, I'm parked in the back of my house, sitting in the truck. That's how I'm like, I'm trying to do it. I'm trying these last few steps. But anyway, that's when you hanging out with some folks. It could be friends, family, co-workers, what have you, and that person come up that wasn't invited and nobody really likes, but y'all try to be cordial. But when you see them coming, you roll your eyes like that hard eye roll, like, oh God, why did y'all tell them? That's how I feel about these immigrants and these racists. It's like I can't even remember what video it was, but this guy, I'm assuming he was white. I don't know what the F he was, but he had white. What I told my sister, I start when they talk like when they talk like colonizers, I said I'm gonna start saying they're white minded. So he was talking like he was white minded. And damn, the one they love to say, welfare. If it ain't a crackhead, thief, or welfare people. All we do is get welfare. That's what they say. So he said something like that. And I was like, first of all, just you coming on here saying the ignorant things you're saying lets me know you don't pick up a book unless it has animation on it. I said, the world knows that the majority of people who get welfare are poor whites. They are the majority. That was right on point. That's what I said when I heard it. I was like, girl, that is the hammer hitting the nail. I said, and it's not just Asians. All of them act that way. All of them. We tell you we're going to stop giving you our money because of how you're treating us, and you're telling us, I don't give a F about how you feel, niggers. You're going to keep giving me your money. I say, when I continue in my personal real life, I say, if I continue to go to a place that disrespects me, and I'm not just talking about Asian businesses, I'm talking about anybody, I feel like I'm giving you money or I'm paying you to disrespect me. And that's what we will be doing if we continue to pay you, give you our business and our money and our time, and you're disrespecting us. It's almost like we're just like, hey, how much you say it again? It's $250 for you to disrespect me? Okay, here's a check. You take checks? Oh, you do Apple Pay? Like, that's how it is. Now, this is the last vid I'm going to show you before we get into the content, the main content. This clip will make you even more determined to use those trillions of dollars that we was giving to other people, making them rich, use it in our communities to build our communities, make them strong and healed from the atrocities that was committed against us physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. Check this out.
You're so proud of you. Look at yours. Oh, this is what community looks like. Oh, yes. Now, this Niecy Pooh said that her mother was the one who informed her about what was going on with the boycott. And she said, say less. I want to go where my money is appreciated and where I'm welcome. And I'm like, okay, Niecy Pooh. As we were speaking, look, people were just coming in, and it's just a great environment, guys. KK said that the business has been so good since the video. So thank you, guys. You guys are showing up, and this is why they're mad. She's also looking for help because she's become so busy. So if you're a nail tech,
it's like seeing the excitement, the appreciation that these black business owners are showing. It's like, why would you want to go back to an assembly line? There was a video I was looking at where the host was explaining the difference between the prices, the black salons and the Asian salons. And the black technicians were explaining the reason why the prices are so low with the Asians is because it's known that they skip corners, especially when it comes to sanitation. And the black salons say they don't do that. I've heard many a times throughout the years, I've heard of women complaining about catching something, some kind of infection, some kind of serious virus when they went to those Asian shops, because those Asian shops specialize in high volume, while the black salons, they say they specialize in healthcare, nail healthcare. So they're not trying to get you in there, pass some virus along or infection along to you, because they're trying to rush. So you're getting what you pay for when you go to a black nail shop or salon. People stand on your square 10 toes down. These people have been calling us stupid and we're ignorant. Let them see. Let them reap the wicked, vile things they said about us without us interfering or stopping it. So listen to this, people. Here's a comment someone left on the video titled Black Wall Street is Back. Someone said, over many years of assisting children with fundraisers, selling $1 world finest candy bars, every Asian on my job refused to buy one. They won't even support with $1. When I read that, I just, after I read it, I just sat there and just looked at the comment like, it's all kind of things went through my mind like, damn. Because I don't know the person's ethnicity, race. I assume they're Black American. And, they work with these Asians and they were doing this fundraiser. And I was like, damn, $1? They couldn't, $1? I was like, that's how they feel about us. Okay, let's get on with this. I feel that people are in their feelings against us because we took a stand. And they're saying, how dare you interfere with our business like this when you know that you guys are the bulk of our income. Somebody brought this to my attention earlier. They said to me, Black people's hearts should be turned cold against these business owners. And I thought about it. I was like, The reason why that statement resonated with me is because of the brutality, the blatant disregard towards us. I have pictures of going into their businesses and being treated the way we have described. What happened to Latasha Harlan? She, that wasn't the first case. What happened to Cyrus? Matter of fact, when that happened with Cyrus, I think I went and looked for a clip of what happened to Latasha Harlan, and you can see Soon Jadu. It was something. Latasha Harlan was at the check stand. Soon Jadu reached for her top, pulled her towards the check stand. Latasha Harlan hit her, which she had every right. Tasha turned around to walk out. And then Latasha Harlan just, boom, fell to the ground. I remember when that first happened, they kept playing the video over and over. At this point, I'm thinking they was trying to start something, because we had just dealt with the Rodney King. And then when they released that video, we was like, these monsters. They beat him like he was on a damn plantation. I was hot. And then you saw that with Latasha Harlan. It's like they're always trying to emotionally manipulate us. And then when things pop off the way they wanted it, that is their opportunity to come in and call us all kind of animals and savages and, low impulse control. Look at them. I'm getting myself aggravated. Let's go on. There was no difference between what happened to Latasha Harlan's and Cyrus getting shot in the back as he fled a store. And I'm trying to figure out in what state is illegal for you to shoot someone in the back when they pose no danger. I don't care if they stole your $10,000 ring and they're running away from you, did not threaten you with a weapon, is not trying to do harm to you or your family, and they're running away from you and you pull out a gun and shoot them. That was not self-defense. That was retaliation. You guys put your rinky-dink stores and businesses in our community, and you had the audacity to take someone's life over your rinky-dink, cheap, inferior products. You put that over a soul. You put that bottle of water and juice over a soul. When the Bible says that heaven rejoices over one soul that is saved, a shepherd would leave his whole flock just to go find one sheep that wandered off. So that's how important one soul is to God. Whether you believe in God or not, it doesn't change how he feels about one soul. You say that Black Americans' souls are worthless. That's how you act, like our souls mean nothing. So you're calling God a liar. Okay, you're about to hear how I perceive how these people feel and what they're saying about us in private spaces, online, what have you, whatnot. It's kind of humorous, but at the same time, it's facts, or I feel they're facts. They're pissed beyond belief that we are not financing their elaborate lives and dreams anymore. We aren't paying for you to send your children to schools. We're not paying for you to send your children to schools and get tools that they would explicitly use against us politically in every other sector in this country. It's happening out in the open, a quiet movement that threatens the very economic fabric of our society. In communities across America, a new trend has taken hold. A group of people has decided against all odds to support itself. They call it supporting their own. They call it investing in the community. But we're going to pull back the curtain to ask one question no one else will. How dare Black people build their own wealth? This may shock you, it may disturb you, and frankly it should. For decades, we've had a delicate economic balance, a predictable, stable, and for many, profitable system, and now that system is under threat from a radical new ideology, economic self-sufficiency. We went to the front lines of this emerging crisis. We found business owners, pillars of their local communities, now facing an unprecedented challenge. Remember, people, this is fiction, but it's facts. I just don't get it, one local business owner told us, wringing his hand. For 30 years, I've been here. 30 years. They were my most loyal customers. They bought their milk here, their bread here, everything. It was a good system. A great system. Now they're walking right past my door. They've decided to invest in themselves. The nerve. I mean, how dare they? How dare they indeed? His story isn't unique. All across the nation, we found similar accounts. It seems a community with trillions of dollars and buying power has suddenly decided that that money is theirs. The audacity of us to say that trillions of dollars of spending power is ours. We done flipped our wig in their minds. That's how they feel. It's a terrifying prospect. To understand how we got here, we have to look at the mechanics of this movement. This life change, I call it. Our investigation uncovered a complex economic theory they call circulating dollars. You see, it's often said that a dollar enters the community, gets spent once, and then immediately exit to the broader economy. Historically, in about 6 hours. It's efficient, clean, a perfectly balanced, effective model. But what this new movement proposes is unnatural. Instead of leaving within hours, the dollar is being passed from one Black-owned business to another. It's trapped, circulating for days, even weeks. It's a concept so alarming, we had to consult a leading theorist to understand its devastating potential. The downstream effects are simply catastrophic, explains Dr. Alistair Finch, an economic entitlement theorist. Economic entitlement theorists. And that's how they're acting. Like they're entitled to our money. If all we have is $5 in our pocket, they want us to give them $4. And then try to tax us on the dollar. You don't need that whole dollar. Give me a quarter. Let's go on. If this trend continues, it could lead to increased local employment. It could lead to new startups being funded from within the community itself. If left unchecked, it could even result in generational wealth. Let's continue. He shudders. Imagine a world where a community no longer needs to rely solely on outside businesses for its survival. It's a breakdown of the entire economic dependency model. It's chaos. This isn't the first time they've had this audacious idea. Our historical archives team uncovered evidence of previous attempts, the most brazen of which was called Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the early 20th century. It was, by all accounts, a terrifyingly successful experiment in self-reliance. The community had its own banks, hotels, grocery stores, and movie theaters. Legend says the dollar would circulate dozens of times before it ever left the Greenwood district. They were building prosperity. They were building independence. It was a brazen attempt at economic autonomy until you know what happened. For decades after the lesson seemed to have been learned, the natural order was restored. But it appears the lessons of the past have been forgotten. This new Buy Black movement is just Black Wall Street in digital form. They're using apps and social media to identify and exclusively patronize each other. It's a coordinated effort, a repeat of the same defiant act of a community choosing itself. Economic boycotts and targeted spending, blackouts, have in fact been a tool for protests for over a century, from the Don't Buy Where You Can't Work campaigns of the Great Depression to the Montgomery bus boycott. Each was a demand for accountability, but this new wave feels different. It feels permanent. So what's the end game of this radical agenda? It appears to be something they call economic justice. They have the gall to suggest that businesses profiting from their spending power, which again is in the trillions, should in turn reinvest in their communities. They're demanding reciprocity, a share of the prosperity they help create. Reciprocity, scoffs a bewildered business owner. I put a community first sign in my window. What more do they want? I've been serving them for 30 years. Doesn't that buy me loyalty? Don't I have a right to their money? They act as if their spending is a choice, a vote they can cast for the kind of world they want to live in. It's madness. The madness is spreading. Black business owners is on the rise, with the number of employer firms surging in recent years. These businesses aren't just creating revenue, they're creating jobs. And studies often link this kind of local ownership to stronger, healthier neighborhoods. What'd I say? Did I say it in a video or did I create a poster? I said that by us investing in ourselves is, of course, going back into our community, is revitalizing our community, and it's healing our community. You won't be walking around through your community and neighborhood feeling forsaken or having this attitude like you don't give a F because it's not yours. But when you start reinvesting and investing in your community, you're going to have this attitude like, nah, y'all ain't coming in here acting a fool. And that's going to be towards the people you know too. They're going to know not to run through acting like a fool anymore, because they're going to have respect for their community, because we're going to help it build it up and look beautiful, not like a gutter where everybody comes through and throw their trash in. No. Let's go on. Each new business is another leak in the bucket, another place for the dollar to circulate dangerously instead of flowing out as it should. They're building their own tables instead of asking for a seat of ours. They're funding their own ventures instead of waiting for our approval. They are daring to believe their own money is good enough for their own businesses. The sheer unmitigated gall. But all I know is when people sinister, like the people our people been dealing with for centuries, when they believe they have something over you, something you want, then they'll tighten up the screws. It's like a sadistic game. Oh, you said you want this? And they pull to snatch it back to you. Oh, you're thirsty? You want this water? Snatch it back from me. But when they see and feel that you don't need them, watch how they start acting. Let's go on. So we're left with a horrifying picture. A community armed with immense economic power, deciding to wield it for its own benefit. A people choosing to believe that their dollar has more power staying home for a day than it does leaving in an hour. They are building wealth. They are creating jobs. They are demanding accountability from a system that has for centuries relied on their quiet, uninterrupted participation. I blame what happened to our communities, these immigrants coming in, sucking our communities dry like a vampire, like a leech. I blame it on our local leaders and our national leaders. They knew the game plan. You know, there are some politicians who won't let you bring a business in their community if it's not going to benefit their neighborhood, their community that they're over. But you see, our leaders treated our communities like a one-night stand. Oh, what? You want some of this? Here. What you got? What you got? What you got? Oh, okay, that's enough. Go on. And don't be loud making all that noise. They treated our community like a whole one-night stand. Okay, let's go on. The question is no longer if this will continue, but how we are supposed to cope with it. The experts are at a loss. The business owners are in shock. The natural, predictable, and profitable flow of capital has been disrupted. So if you're out in your community and you see someone, a friend, a neighbor, walk past a long established business to patronize a new Black-owned one, don't be a hero. Don't interfere. There's nothing you can do. Just look away, shake your head in disbelief. Ask yourself, what have we come to as a society when a community decides its own money is finally good enough for itself? I was just talking to somebody. I said, you know what? I said this to somebody yesterday. We were having a discussion. And I said, you know what I think it is, what's going on with these people who are realizing that they messed up? They had 30, 40 something years to get it together. And they kept saying, for what? This is fine. We're fine. Taking these people money and treating them like crap. They don't have a problem with it. Obviously, they don't have a problem with it. They keep coming. I was saying, you know what I believe? I believe that once the shock wore off, they were stunned, silent. That's when they became angry. They didn't believe it. That's why they had that dude had the balls, and he ain't the only one. They had the balls to come in and dare us. And then the other chick that came in, it was a video I was watching earlier. They said that homegirl that came in calling black women bald head and just talking all out the side of her neck, has a criminal record and came in talking about our children. You see how these people are? They be talking about us, but they are worse. I remember I looked at this video a few years ago. This guy was talking about how he was talking to his grandfather, asking him what was his issue with black folks. And he said, I don't know, it's just something about them that it makes me uncomfortable. I said, well, we make you uncomfortable because you know it's something coming down the pipeline for the seeds your ancestors planted. That's what makes you uncomfortable. That's why they don't want to hear nothing about slavery, because it makes them uncomfortable thinking about what they know is going to happen. But anyway, he said that his grandfather was involved in all kind of illegal activity. His grandfather sold the green sticky stuff, and his grandfather was on welfare. So everything he accused us of doing, his grandfather was doing it. So he was like, well, granddad, just throwing that back at him. Like, what's up? You're talking about black people doing this, that, and the other, but you're doing the same thing. I forgot what his response was, but they always justify what they do. Always. All right, folks, I hope you enjoy that. I hope you enjoyed this content and the other videos if you guys have watched them. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you for telling your friends, family members, co-workers about this channel. Thank you for hyping. Thank you for all that. I appreciate you guys, and I'm about to be out. I will see you guys in the next video.